Home button, chunky bezels, dual camera system, fast reliable fingerprint scanner, nice color choices, and also a good sized quality display. Well, that's the iPhone 8 Plus, or that was the iPhone 8 Plus. Now we can pretty much say that the iPhone 8 Plus was Apple's last plus sized iPhone, and even now this one works great. This phone was launched almost like 5 years back and still it works well for most of the phone stuff. But then should you buy a used or refurbished one in 2022 might be a doubt in some users' mind, and this video is to clear it. Well, when you plan on buying a phone, let it be a used or a new one, there will be a lot of priorities and also the price tag is very important. And for the 8 Plus, the price tag thing can change based on the condition of the device. And usually a good unit should cost approximately in the 20,000 Indian rupees range. And that pricing is actually what you should be aiming for if you're planning to get an iPhone 8 Plus. And if you spot such kind of a unit, well, the strong points that you're going to note with the phone will be its premium design and sturdy build quality, fast and reliable unlocking method, pretty excellent display, good user experience, and also a handy camera system in good lighting conditions. Well, these are the strong things of this phone right now for the above mentioned price tag. Because this design, well, it's still premium. Aluminum frame, front and back glass, they all give a good in-hand feel even though it's not a very ergonomic feel. Because the phone is a bit on the huge side. But then this design, well, it does still hold up well if the unit was used in a regular manner. Because then there shouldn't be any gaps or cracks, and here everything is sealed shut with precision, thereby providing an IP67 rating. And even now, all the buttons, they work well. Now this form factor is like a Pro Max series form factor, so that's something to check if you're planning to get this phone. And here, even though the form factor is huge, the display is not that big. And for 2022, the display size and layout might seem not that great for widescreen video formats. But still, even as of now, for browsing, texting, playing games and all those things, well, this 5.5-inch display is an excellent one. It's a full HD IPS LCD panel with good viewing angles and sharp colors, and actually the viewing experience is nice. And here even the peak brightness is good enough for a neat outdoor experience. And overall you will love the quality of this display. And here even a more perfect thing is under this home button. It's the fingerprint scanner or Touch ID. It works great. Well, everyone should know that, and this is what Apple has been marketing in the SE phones. And right now the new SE, which is the third generation SE, has launched, which is a bit boring. And when we see the SE, well, why can't Apple use this design, or why can't Apple recycle this phone as an SE 2022? That would have been great, but Apple doesn't want to do that. So if you want this type of a phone, well, you still have to go with this old 8 Plus. And here with the 8 Plus, the camera system, to be frank, is still fine and actually does its job if the scenario you're shooting is favorable. And by favorable, what I mean is that we need a lot of light. The rear camera setting is the dual camera system, which are both 12 megapixels, and here the main camera is a wide angle one, and the secondary one is a 2x telephoto camera. And here the pictures even now is sufficiently detailed with sharp colors, and overall, as I stated, if the condition is a well lit outdoor or indoor setting, the pictures are neat. And also here the portrait photos are really good for what this phone can be bought for right now. But then the telephoto camera by itself is not that good for 2x zoom shots. And here as always, even now the strong point of this camera system is the video recording. You can record 4K 60fps videos and the clips are still very much sharp and stable, and it's miles better than any Android phone selling in the 20,000 Indian rupees range. But then do keep in mind that these good things about the camera system is only when the light is favorable. But when the light drops, things get grainy and messed up. I mean, even in a dusky environment, the camera does struggle. Now about the front 7 megapixel camera, it's good and the selfies look fine. But you're also more than the photos, it's the videos that look better than the competition. But with video recording, the max supported resolution is 1080p at 30 fps. But with this front camera also, the main catch is that you need plenty of light for the photos and the videos to look good. So that's how the camera system in the 8 Plus is performing in 2022, and even now it's not a bad system. But then there is a very important thing that you all might be curious about, which is the performance. And I'm happy to report the 8 Plus even now does perform well. It's great for basic stuff and good for moderate to heavy tasks. The processor powering the 8 Plus is Apple's A11 Bionic chip and the RAM is 3GB. And this combo works smoothly with a bit of heat dissipation, but that's not going to spoil your user experience. The present software version is the latest iOS 15.4, and most probably this phone should get 2 more years of software support, which is an excellent thing in terms of longevity. And overall, I can still daily drive this phone for almost every phone stuff. And that's a very strong point for the iPhone 8 Plus in 2022. But that said, the weak point to consider are also a bit of concern, especially depending on the unit you're gonna get. Now, the reason I'm stating like this is because battery life in the iPhone 8 Plus might be a concern if it's an old stock battery, because then for sure the battery health will be bad and the device won't work well. If it's a battery with 83 to 85% battery health, well then you can hit the 2 to 3 hour range of screen on time, so it's something that you have to check well. And also, even if the battery has been replaced, then you need to very much confirm if it's a genuine Apple battery or not. Because with third-party battery replacements, the battery health can be reset to 100%, but then those batteries won't perform that well. And hence what I will recommend is to get a unit which has never been opened and then take it to an Apple authorized service center, and from there get the battery replaced. And if you do so, or maybe if you get a battery replaced refurbished unit from a trusted seller, well then you can get adequate battery backup. And yet this battery can be charged with a 20-watt fast charger because the phone does support fast charging, and also by the way the very slow wireless charging is supported too. So this battery thing is what I feel is a major area to check. And here, since the phone has aged, network speeds are also not that good, but Wi-Fi works fine, and same is applicable with Bluetooth connectivity because it doesn't give much trouble. And by the way, the speaker system is fine because it's a dual speaker setup and it's fairly loud. And about the earpiece, even now it's totally fine for calls. So that's everything about the iPhone 8 Plus in 2022. And even now, this phone is a surely daily driver option. There are drawbacks, but except the battery side, everything else are things that won't affect your daily usage. The front design is dated, but then if you plan on getting the 8 Plus, well, you already should know that bezels are a part of it. And even with this bezels, the display is a good sized one. And hence, if you are interested in the 8 Plus and you can find a good unit for a reasonable price, I think you will be happy with it. That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, a like is much appreciated, and also please don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it does help our channel a lot. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye.